So this morning we are gathering to do a meditation together, a meditation for the future of humanity. So this is something I've already shared before, and it's a little bit of a different spin because I've added elements of conversations that I've had with people around what they wished for the future. And so this is something I have incorporated in this meditation. So we are going to start with centering ourselves and making sure that we are ready to be in the right place to do this meditation. There will be a replay, so if you miss the beginning, it will be posted on my page at Healing Circle 2018. So as usual, one of the best way that I find to center myself and to open my heart and be present and focused on what I want to do is to do our heart breath, which is from the HeartMath Institute. So the way you do it, as some of you know it, you've done it with me, is you place a hand on your heart if you want, or you don't have to, but just to kind of put the focus there. It helps sometimes for the mind to focus when you tap on a specific place. And then the idea is that instead of breathing in through we are going to breathe through the mouth and the nose, but it's a visualization, and you have to imagine that you're breathing in and out from your heart. So take a deep breath in. And imagine this is going through your heart, and then a deep breath out through your heart as well. And you're going to keep going like this. So what happens after a while when you do this type of breathing is that you feel some kind of movement, some kind of energy moving in your heart. And most of the time, you're going to start feeling some warmth. Closing your eyes might help to focus on what you're doing. Don't force it too much. Otherwise, sometimes it makes it harder. But just keep the focus on your heart. As I say, you can tap a little bit on it. And today, because we're going to go a little bit into an imaginary place, of course, with this meditation. It's a guided meditation. I'd like you to imagine that as you're doing this breath in and out through the heart, that you are at the same time creating a bubble of light around you. So this is a golden light or white light around you, or actually any color that you feel would be appropriate for you. And just to create kind of a safe cocoon, a safe place all around your body. And also kind of creating a private little space for you all around. So you know that this meditation is for you. This guided meditation is just for your imagination. So make sure that you are seated comfortably, that you are in a place where, if possible, you can be in the quiet and you can be not disturbed for another, think about 15 minutes. And just fully relax into your seat or wherever you're sitting or lying down. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed and down. Your jaw is relaxed. You can shake your arms a little bit and then let them down. And keep taking deep breath through the heart. And we're going to go into this meditation. So close your eyes, fully relaxed. Today, we are going to be transported to another time in the future. Imagine that the scene of a spaceship appears all around you. Wherever you are seated or lying down right now, imagine being strapped securely. You are now comfortably settled and you feel safe. You trust the flying crew, and suddenly the craft takes off and you are launched into space. Through the window above your head, you can see the magnificent sky all around you, beautiful and immense, with so many stars everywhere. You are in awe. The captain announces through the speakers that you are now ready to travel through a portal of time. It doesn't take long for the craft to go through this tunnel of light, spinning faster and faster. You close your eyes because the lights are too bright for you. The craft emerges in what seems to be the same spot in the sky where you had started from. And it is. The captain announces your descent to planet Earth in the year 2050. You have now landed. When you come out of the craft, you are first struck by the purity of the air and the perfect blue sky above. It is peaceful. The only sounds that are around are that of a few birds and the distant laughter of children. You are now walking on the lush grass of a beautiful meadow. With the rest of the crew, you are heading towards a modest-looking cottage surrounded by flowers of all colors and all shapes. It is so beautiful to look at. On the side, you notice gorgeous trees filled with enormous juicy fruit. And on the ground, there are a few rabbits hopping around. In the distance, you see a river and some people are fishing there and joyfully chatting away. You are invited to come in. Inside the cottage, there is a large round room with a fireplace at the back. It feels so warm and inviting. There is an orange glow all around the room that makes you feel peaceful and joyful at the same time. There is an old lady. She seems about 80 years old, and she's calmly sitting in a rocking chair in front of the fire. Her eyes are smiling and sparkling with life and joy. She is surrounded by a handful of children, all gathered at her feet, looking at her with anticipation. She is about to tell them the story of when she was younger and when she went through the great awakening on earth. The old lady smiled and she started her story. During the great crisis of 2020, people went from fear and panic to feeling lost, confused, and angry. But underneath all this, the true heart and resilience of most humans was ready to rise again. And so it did. Humanity rose to the challenge. Humans realized that their freedoms were taken away, and they decided one by one to step up past the fear of consequences. Many truths were revealed in that time, Crimes against humanity were brought to light, and this news sent shocks of waves of shocks all around the world. But humanity woke up in many ways. They had to look at the world that they had seen all this time with new eyes. With this wave of truth sweeping all over the planet, people realized that they had the right to choose a better life. A large majority of humans reached a new level of understanding and took their power back. People stood up for what they believed in their heart was right. They opened their heart and found their true potential and rediscovered their infinite being. Suddenly, at that time, it became clear what they had to do. Instead of fear and resignation, sadness and anger, a new vibe was in the air. A vibe of clarity, a vibe of hope, a vibe of newness, inspiration, and openness to new solutions. From every walk of life, all around the world, one by one, individuals and groups started coming up with new ways of living in every areas of society. Schools were rebuilt, health centers were redesigned. What was once a period of uncertainty was replaced by a period of eagerness to create a new vision of a bright future for all. You see, children, during the period of lockdown, a lot of individuals had rediscovered their passion and started to blossom again, like a phoenix rising out of the ashes, finally taking the time to do things they loved. Some started singing, playing music, dancing, cooking, gardening, playing with their children, reading or painting. You see, people had time to reassess the way they had been living up to then. So people started reconnecting with each other and looking out for each other. There was a new awareness of how we would be better at connecting with each other and connecting with the planet. And that's, children, when we saw more kindness, more understanding, and more solidarity flourish. People started appreciating what they had in their life that really matters. While out there, the systems around were, collapsing and the economy seemed to have reached a point of no return, in the midst of all this chaos, people had realized what really mattered. Lots of hearts opened up and found the gratitude for a dear friend, for a family member, for their health, for their home, for a loving pet, or for the beauty of nature. With the lockdown almost everywhere, people had maybe lost their power of action in the outside world, but they were free to use their mind to focus on what they were hoping for. Without knowing, at the same time, billions of other human beings were silently sending waves of wishes and prayers to the universe, asking for a better world, asking for peace, asking for safety and abundance, and many more. Without knowing, all these dreams and focused energy were slowly and surely changing the very matrix of the world, changing the frequency in the ether. Without knowing, there was enough humans focused on a beautiful and positive outcome for the planet to be transferred to all by domino effect. And children, because we are all connected at a higher level, all the thoughts and feelings of humans were all gathered in an invisible united field of consciousness. This had always been the case and still is the case today, children, as you know. But at that time, more than ever, minds were dreaming of solutions for problems, and somewhere else on that planet captured that dream, and in their mind, they found the solutions for the problem. So in the years following the event of 2020, thousands and thousands of new projects bloomed all over the world. You see, at the time of the lockdown, while everything was on pause, our dear planet Earth was able to be cleansed, and even wildlife had slowly returned. This was actually witnessed by everybody. And we understood the importance of respecting our environment and help restore Mother Earth to its full glory. New technologies were brought forward that helped to clean the air and the oceans. Scientists started using clean resources like magnetism and frequencies to offer healthy ways to protect crops, to grow plants, and allow access to free food and water for everyone on the planet. Free energy was introduced in the cities, and these cities started to feel more human. We could see bright skies, breathe pure air, and enjoy a quieter environment where we suddenly could hear even the songs of birds and the laughter of children in the neighborhoods. Trees were planted, communal gardens flourished, and food gardens were added on the roof of all the places and parking lots in many areas of the cities. People were free to choose where to go and where to live. And there was a lot of help to allow every family to have access to land and to their own home. Our politicians were of a different generation, working for the people, acting out of integrity and coming from their heart, truly serving their fellow humans. They started setting the example for more respect, honesty, and authenticity in all communications and negotiation between people and nations. There was an awakening of people who were making decisions and acting from an open heart. Communities were rebuilt based on the heart and sharing among people, and this allowed us to trust each other more, support one another, and feel safe where we lived. Schools were transformed, and each child was valued for their own unique gifts and encouraged to develop them and put them to good use for the community. After thousands of years of injustice, poverty, and exploitation, finally we created a system of abundance for all. People found freedom in their daily activity. There was no more pressure in running a 9-to-5 job. Each individual was in charge of their own time. And because everyone was allowed to have a healthy balance of rest and activity, there was more joy and efficiency of energy and gift being poured into projects that were creative, fun, and useful for the community. Artists were finally free to focus on creating beauty and inspiration for others. People were given new technology, clean technology to stay healthy, and alternative ways of living flourished in every areas of life. And this is the world that you have inherited, children. Children, always remember to honor the accomplishment of your ancestors. What they accomplished was nothing short of amazing. In a few short years, they managed to turn around a world that was destined for self-destruction and were able to rebuild a new civilization based on kindness, cooperation, understanding, and love. Be proud, children, as it is thanks to all those souls that woke up to the power that you are now able to live in a free world and have a healthy life. Now, children, that was how many times I've told you that story. I know you come back and you want to enjoy that story, but it is done again. So now go and have fun and enjoy the new world we created for you. The children clapped and bowed to the old lady, left running and laughing. They did not notice you and the crew, since you were in a parallel reality of time. And you stand there for a minute, taking in all that you have heard the old lady talk about. And somewhere in your heart, you feel that all this has really happened, and that feels good. You so slowly return to the craft with the crew, with a new sense of lightness in your step, and a lightness in your heart, and a smile on your face. As you strap back on your seat in the spacecraft, you are now eager to come back home to 2020 and be part of the big transformation of humanity. You understand that you were shown this scene of the future to give you hope, reassurance, and a certainty that there is something good to be heading forward to. You understand that time is a human creation and that everything only really always happens in the now. So this future has been foretold and prophesied by many for a very long time. Some are even able to connect with their future self now and see the way that where we are heading. You have now traveled back to your home. You take a deep breath and you smile. When you get back to your reality today, do not fret about what you need to do next. For now, your only job is to focus on keeping this vision of a bright future. All you have to do is believe and trust. All you have to do is hold on to these higher vibrations of love, joy, kindness, gratitude as best as you can. And of course, when the time is right, when it will be the time for you to make concrete choices about your future and the future of your family and create something that is new in this world, you will know what to do because you will know it in your heart. You are always guided by a higher version of yourself, by an innate intelligence, that part of you that is your true self. So trust, believe, and know deep in your heart that this is true and that your future and the future of all of us is a bright and beautiful future beyond anything that we have ever dreamt of. So when you are ready, move your fingers, move your toes, have a yawn, stretch a little, and open your eyes. Thank you for joining me in this meditation. Many blessings to you all and best wishes for our future. Namaste.